So I thought I'd make a short video highlighting some of the key points about positioning in terms of feet, knees and hips through Tai Chi practice. Now it's not form specific or style specific, but I do teach Comanche style, so I'm going to use that as a framework, or Yang style. What I want you to do is to look at these as underlying principles of alignment. I'm not asking you to change the way you do your Tai Chi, other than your awareness of the alignments that you take care of when you're doing, when you're practicing. Now the obvious ones are that when your weight's in your front leg, people say your knee doesn't pass your toe. But the fact is that if you aim your sitting bones, if you like, towards your ankles, when you move into the front foot, you land in that front foot, then naturally your knee stops. So your knee not passing your toe becomes an indicator of correct alignment. Once you let this position of your body pass your foot, so then you disconnect from the ground, you can see the knee passes. But if you sit back into that foot, so you hit the bubbling well point in your foot, also activate the springy ligaments in your leg, in your foot, so that it naturally has a bouncy, buoyancy, resilience up through your foot, up through your leg, and out through your body. So you hit the stop, and that naturally aligns, uprooting or whatever you want to do, and you feel the muscle activate. So the knee not passing the toe is an indicator of correct alignment. Same as when you're looking forwards, when you look down, if your knee and hip and foot are correctly aligned, you'll be able to see your big toe. If you can see all your toes except your big toe, you can see. If I see all my toes, my knee's collapsing in, if I can see my big toe, then the hip, foot and knee are all aligned. Okay? And so when you're in the back foot, you are sitting in, you'll notice that my bum doesn't pass my ankle. The same thing applies to my front leg. The foot, knee and hip all align, and I land into that foot. So I can feel the springy ligament, feel the bubbling well point in my foot, the Yongchen point in my foot here, and I sit into it, and that allows me to feel as though I can jump forwards. So when I'm sat backwards, my knee is not collapsing, my foot, knee and hip all align. So although I'm turning here, that doesn't turn. That's always pointing the same direction as my toes. So your knees always point the same direction as your feet, like headlamps if you like, so they're pointing the way you're going. So I'm here, foot, knee and hip align, from here, sitting into my ankle. And you'll feel as you sit into that point, the buoyancy or springiness of the foot, and it naturally will stop me going past my heel. Okay? Next point is when you turn, it's very tempting, if I change weight left and right, it's very tempting to move outside of my feet. Same applies, I move into a foot. So my hip, here, my hip, knee and foot align, hip, knee and foot align. When I rotate, as I rotate, the knee goes the direction it's meant to, which is forwards. So what doesn't happen is I don't turn, so my bum goes outside my foot, and then the knee rotation, so that points at an angle. My knee goes in the same direction as my foot. I know this is a baggy pocket, but my hip, knee and foot all line up. And when I turn, I open my hip, my hip, knee and foot still align, there's no rotation. Bum doesn't go backwards, the rotation is not from my knee, the rotation is from my hip. So the knee goes just the direction it's pointing, which is forwards. So even if I turn to step, if you notice when I turned, I didn't turn. When I turned, I opened. So I'm still going forwards, and I don't move. So here in Comanche style or Yang style, you change weight to your left leg, rotate, change weight. As we're going to do wall off left, and then move forwards. Again, my foot, knee and hip align. Release my back foot, open my hips, foot steps forwards. I move in a line, hip, knee, foot in a line, and then rotate. And as I rotate, right from here, not here, rotate from here. If I was doing something like, I don't know, 24 step, and then I move here, and I turn, step, you can see there's no rotation on my knee, my hip doesn't turn, all aligned. I move, turn, step, up, and diagonal. Now it doesn't matter whether you're doing diagonal flying or while horse parking its mane or brushing a twist step, it makes no difference, it's basically the same posture. So if I'm doing this, it's no different than doing this. Hip alignment's the same. And first, if I'm going to go open, step diagonal, still open, direction of my feet, change, rotate. You see the rotation is coming from here, in, rotate. Still hip, knee and foot, hand, hip, knee, foot, all aligned up. If I'm doing brushing and twist step, in, hip, knee and foot, rotate. Hip, knee, foot. Again, I don't mind where your positions of hands are, but in terms of this, hip, knee, foot, hip, knee, foot, hip, knee, foot, hip, knee, foot, all aligned. Okay, and here the weight's predominantly in the front leg, so I'm fully loaded, slightly leaning forwards almost, fully loaded in the front leg, but the back knee is not collapsing. Hip, knee, foot, hip, knee, foot. Okay. The more you pay attention to the alignment of your hip, knee, and feet, hips, knees, and feet, the more you'll get that natural compression, and then springy release through your body. Your body has a kind of bouncy feeling to it, nice and relaxed. Plus, as Tai Chi really works as a kind of musculoskeletal rehabilitation, which means the more you use your body correctly, the more you align correctly, the stronger and more stable it is. So it makes no difference whether you're using your form practice or your Tai Chi as a martial art, or whether you're using it for health and rehabilitation. You've got one body and you're living in it. Using it correctly makes it work and move efficiently. And the more you align and use it correctly, the more it pays out. So if you're using it as a martial art, the relaxed alignment allows you to deliver the most power without as if having your handbrakes on or trying to fight with misalignments in your body. It takes off all the locks and all the blocks and releases the power. And if you're using it for fitness, rehabilitation, strengthening your body, recovery, again, correct alignment, so no knee collapsing, sitting into your body, releasing your lower back. So I'm not tucking my pelvis, but I'm just releasing my lower back, sitting into my ankle, creating that buoyancy. The more you do this, the more it pays back. Practice those alignments. Mindful movement is about paying attention. And when you pay attention, and you're attentive to the alignment, to the feeling, it trains your mind and trains your body to do that as a habit. Please do play with it, Play with the alignment there, play with the alignment there. Notice the feeling of difference in your hip and knee. Notice the feeling of open and the releasing of muscles. Sit behind, notice the pressure of your hip and your knee. Move slightly forwards. Notice how it releases and all the pressure just goes down the muscles. Don't just try and do it correct. Play by moving, because we learn by contrast. So I hope you found this useful and helpful. Any questions, just message or drop me an email. Great. My email and website will be below this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.